We are going to be talking about Webex Contact Center and how AI plays a role in routing, which helps you to enhance customer experience and elevate human connection with AI, right? So I am Vikram Gururaj. I'm the product manager for routing and queuing on the Webex Contact Center. I've been around in Cisco and doing this for quite a bit, so I hope I can give you a good amount of knowledge that you can take back home. Okay, so what can you expect today in this session? We just did a round of introduction, so that's fine. We're going to talk about the entire Webex Contact Center portfolio, or Webex Customer Experience portfolio, the contact center routing capabilities, both from an inbound perspective, what do we do from an outbound perspective, some of the additional features that we have been releasing in the last 8 months, 9 months, what's coming pretty soon. We're going to look at that, and how AI plays a role in routing, right? We can learn about some of the predicted estimated wait time using machine learning, some agent recommendations using AI. So that's going to be my session today. What are CX challenges today? Capacity, as we all know, remains a constraint. Technology integration is a problem. Agent retention is an age-old problem that we have never solved. We all know companies continue to invest and increase their investment in CX, but only a few of them saw a measurable improvement in the customer experience. The metrics on the slide shows you that. It's an industry study that was done. So the net result is the customer experience is falling short of customer expectations, right? So these are the challenges, but that's exactly our opportunities as well. How do we address that, right? So we're going to see that and how Webex Customer Experience portfolio tries to address all these issues. We all know what a great customer experience should look like, but it is easier said than done. Do you guys agree? So customer satisfaction continues to decline for various reasons, for the issues that we saw in the previous slide. Agents are struggling to find answers to questions, and the technology and systems continue to be siloed. This is our problem today. How do we fix that, right? We can fix that it just requires a holistic approach to look into that with a right balance of integration of AI, automation, and human interaction, right? That will to create a great, highly connected journey that will leave all of our customers feeling valued. Thereby, we can provide great self-service, awesome agent experiences, and the right automation and orchestration that is needed. So we need to do these 3 things. So let us see how Webex Customer Experience portfolio addresses these. I'm pretty sure if you have attended a lot of Webex Customer Experience sessions, you would have seen this chart pretty much there. What does that mean? We have embedded the right amount of AI in our products. Our CX portfolio looks at or focused on solving 3 main business areas: more proactive, more self-service, more empathetic agents are serviced by human agents who are actually augmented by AI. So to deliver on this vision and support customers to reimagine customer experience, we have distinct software workloads: proactive journeys, AI agents, and human agents. And these workloads sit on top of common experience foundation: integrations, journey data, knowledge, and different channels. And all of this has been built on Webex platform, providing a common administration and support, right? In today's session, I'm going to be focused mostly on this human agent piece and how AI plays a role in that, and how AI plays a role in routing. I have my fellow PMs talking about the rest of the things. I think Max Moran will be talking about AI agents. I'll briefly touch on these 3 today before I deep dive into the human agents and how AI plays a role in that. Okay? Proactive journeys. What is that? it helps in anticipating the customer needs and addressing them even before it becomes an issue. So technology exists today to make this happen. So we have proactive journeys already in our portfolio. Secondly, I want to tell you a story before I talk about this. I flew from India all the way to Amsterdam via Abu Dhabi. And it was the second leg was a long flight, right? 7 hours flight. So I ensured I get good leg room, so I bought some leg room space, extra space in the seats. I'm a vegetarian, so I pre-ordered what I need to eat on the flight. I had a good long layover, tired. I come to the check-in, I want to get into the plane, and they tell me at that moment, the plane has changed. You don't have your seat anymore. We have changed your seat. And I was like, my food did not arrive. I don't know who had those wonderful food. So what I'm telling you with this story is they could have been proactive and let me know that we have changed our flight. We would try our best to accommodate you on the kind of seats that you have, or come see us early before so that we can do something about it. So that's customer experience for you, right? So it needs event-triggered urgency. Whenever such an event happens, you need to trigger that with a two-way real-time communication, provide 1:1 personalized communication, and all of this should also be enabled at scale. We are talking about a plane. We're not talking a small 50 agent, right? So we need all that for great enterprises. And Webex Connect uses the business system event triggers and the channels on the right to do exactly that. And that's integrated as a part of the proactive journeys in our portfolio. Secondly, the scheduled broadcast. It provides outbound voice, one-to-many communication, and human-initiated conversations as well. So Webex Campaign Management connects a human user with the customer channels of their choice. So that's proactive journeys in a nutshell. You're going to hear more about this in the specific sessions there. Secondly, AI agents. This is a new capability I'm sure you would have heard and seen in a lot of blogs that we released. This is being introduced, an autonomous AI agent that can help our customers to be more effective. It can streamline business processes and reduce manual effort. That's what we all need. And thereby improve efficiency, especially for simple issues that customer need quick resolution. So that makes the AI agents to be the front door of contact centers. We all know the customer demands are evolving and increasing every day. However, we also know on the contact center side, the agents there is a constrained supply. We talked about agent retention as a problem. How do we bridge this? The AI agent provides an elastic supply to provide containment and reduce the lower handling times. So that's AI agents in a nutshell for you. Now, this is a picture of what an AI agent looks like when you build it. We provide two flavors of AI agent. One is a scripted, which leverages your custom training data. And it uses classical machine learning models with intents and entities. So there is some effort that is needed because you need to figure out those intents. But that also provides you a high level of determination and control. At the same time, we also provide autonomous agents which leverage large language models. It uses simple and intuitive instructions in natural language. So that helps you deliver a free-flowing natural language interaction. And this is available in multiple languages. So you can look for more information on our website there. And this is coming soon. So if you can see the date on it, this is coming this quarter there. Moving on, which is the crux of today's, or the meat of today's in Dutch, right, conversation in this session, is I'm going to be talking about human agents. What do we need, or what do we offer for human agents as a part of customer experience portfolio? So with that, I'm going to be talking about the routing capabilities to start with. Inbound routing. So we'll look at it with the help of how do you address this for a small contact center. So Webex Contact Center is built for both small, medium, and large enterprises. So we'll look at an example of help desk, technical support kind of a contact center. Those are different channels that we support. Using flow control, you can put those contacts in a queue. And in the queue configuration, you can add teams to your queue configurations or agents without teams. Now, the contact center teams that you create, I'll talk about that. You're going to see all of that here in this slide in a couple of slides below. Routing algorithms, what do we support for this kind of thing? A simple longest available agent. Agents log into their desktop. Whoever logged in first is the longest available agent, so we route the contact to that first and then the next and so on. We also do agent-based routing because you're adding agents directly. We do agent-based routing. And from a medium or an enterprise kind of contact center which needs specialized support, need like collection management, logistics, and things like that, healthcare, you can do skill-based routing. And you can do skill-based routing in two ways now in contact center. You can add skills to a contact that's available today. And in a month or two from now, you can also add skills to queues directly. So please note that I put a star on these two, and these are coming soon. When I said soon, I'm talking about a month or in this quarter. So you can also, using both these configurations, do preferred agent routing. For example, I talk to my bank, and I want to talk to my same relationship manager at all times because he knows what kind of banking I do. He understands my issues. So those kind of solutions for those kind of problems, you need preferred agent routing. So we're going to touch on each of this in a little more detail going forward. Longest available agent, let's look at that. It's available today. So when do you use that? If you want to reduce customer wait times. So this is a complicated picture, but very easy to understand though. So you see the contacts coming in using flow control. It enters, you put them in a queue. And as I said, in the queue, you add Webex Contact Center teams as a queue configuration, team 1, 2, and 3, let's say. So it tries to find for this given contact if there is an available agent with team 1. Let's assume they're all busy handling other contacts. I just use the word calls, but it works seamless. It's how many channel contact center. It works for any kind of channels and all kind of channels that we support. Email, chat, social media, and so on. And they all work similar. So it tries to find an agent on team 1. No, they're all busy. Now it expands to search an agent between team 1 and 2 and team 1, 2, and 3. So it provides an expandable pool of agents across the teams that are configured. This routing algorithm delivers contact to an agent who has been available the longest. And what is available the longest mean? Agents select a particular team when they sign in, and when they sign in, their time is recorded. Among all the agents who are signed in first is the longest available, then the second, and so on and so forth. And they receive a contact, their longest available status gets reset. And what are the features that this kind of algorithm provides? It provides you estimated wait time, position in queue. It allows a lot of programmability that you can do in flow control. You can check for how many agents are logged in at this moment, do the routing, or send it third-party system or IVR and what have you. Or you can also look for availability check and say, okay, these agents are available, they'll probably take these calls in a bit, and so on. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is a small demo that I captured, which is there in the product. So this is telling you how do you configure a queue for team-based routing or longest available agent routing algorithm. So I just captured a video yesterday before I put it here. So that's skill-based routing. I'll turn it off. I don't want that. I am assigning teams there. That's the longest available there. Now I create a group, and I can add teams to that. I added that team and the team 6 as well. So let's see, so there are 2 teams now. Putting in as a threshold of 20 seconds. How long do you want there to wait in queue before it gets disconnected? And then you can put up default music on hold. So that's as simple as how you create a queue, and we are all done. We are set now to use that queue in the flow control. In the flow control, all you do is when a contact comes, send this contact to this queue. You just configure that. So it's as simple as that configuration in the control hub. Second, this is available today as well, skill-based routing. But the point is you need to assign skills to a contact. Let's understand this a little bit. When any contact enters a queue in the flow control, you assign a skill to that contact. Again, you define the same set of contact distribution groups, team 1, 2, 3, and so on. Provides you expandable pool of agents. It creates virtual queues depending on when agents sign in, what kind of skills they sign in with. So this helps in increasing the first call resolution because you're trying to address a particular problem for a customer and you send that contact with that to an agent which has that skill. So again, how do agents acquire skill? When they log in, they choose a team. So either you assign a skill profile to an individual directly, or you can assign that to a team. So depending on the team that they sign in, they can inherit it, or they can use directly from the individual assignment of skill profile. So the agent skills are determined at the team selection, as I spoke. Virtual queues get formed for each skill requirement of the contact, and the contacts get queued. Again, agent matching the skill for the contact gets that. And let's say there are 2 or 3 agents which match the same skill. So again, the tiebreaker happens with the longest available agent. So that's how it works. So that's skill-based routing phase 1, which is available today. Okay, let's look at the example of that and how it works. Again, very similar way to create a queue. I'm going to create a skill-based queue now. That's the inbound queue. I will look at that toggle there. I'm going to toggle it on and say assign skills to an agent in the flow. Then I either choose the longest available or best available. It's up to us how you want to configure. Again, I'll create a couple of teams and choose add them, and then set the service threshold and maximum time in queue. And then select what music needs to be played for a customer who's waiting in queue. So again, very simple to create a queue there and turn on skill-based routing. It's just a small toggle. Now let's look at skill-based routing and how do you assign skills to a queue. This is coming soon. We are starting early availability end of February, early March. And then probably a few weeks later, after we receive feedback from our partners and customers, we'll turn this feature on for everybody. So what's that? Again, helps in increase the first call resolution because it's skill-based queue or skill-based routing. So this we have simplified a bit. Anybody in the room who does on-premise contact center, CCX, CCE? Okay, that's 30–40% of the people here. So this is exactly how it works in UCCX and UCC. So if you have customers who want to migrate, they can use this. It's a direct migration and a simple migration without having to redesign your contact center. So in the flow, when it enters the skill, you assign skills at the queue level. So we will see that demo again of how it works. Then agents have skills assigned to them. And so by virtue of this, a matching skill is found from an agent and a queue, and a contact goes to them. Very simple there, nothing great scientific about it. Agents acquire skill by directly assigning them to an agent, so that's the difference. Earlier we used team-based skill routing, which needed team in that. Here team has no significance in routing, so team is out of the picture. Team continues to exist just for reporting and supervisor management. And contacts entering a queue is skills assigned into the queue. Agent match happens based on the skill profiles that are assigned to the agent. And again, it provides estimated wait time, position in queue. You can also do programmability of check logged in agents, availability check, and so on. So all of this are built. It is pretty much coming in less than a month. So stay tuned. You can look at our announcement on the Webex Contact Center coming soon page on this, and then we'll move it over to the general availability as well in a month. So this is how you configure, because I said it's almost ready. So I did capture the demo. So this is a working setup. It's not a mock-up, but let's look at that. So that's skill-based routing. I turn it on. I assign that skills to the queue. I choose best available again. Now I'll add skill requirements because we said we need to assign skills to the queue. So we are assigning skills directly there. I'm selecting a debit card is true as one skill. Probably assign proficiency as well. There you can also click on view assigned agents and look who are the agents who can actually handle this contact. So it gives you a list of agents. So you really know, okay, if the call volume is so much, do you have enough agents or not, right up there. So I'm going to add probably one more skill requirement there. Let me add a skill requirement. I'll select a type. I'll now select proficiency and then English with greater than or equal to 6. And then that is already there. That's a new one that you added. When you refresh the list, you can again see who are the new agents who can serve this queue. So right there, you figure out, do you have enough number of agents who could serve this queue or not? So you can play around with a skill depending on what your requirements are. And that's as simple as that to create a skill-based queue. This is coming soon again, as you can see up on the screen, and looking forward for your participation in early access and give us feedback on that so that we can GA soon. We'll talk about preferred agent routing. I brought this up. What is this preferred agent routing? Let's say you want to talk to somebody in your bank, and it's always good to talk to the same person again because he knows how you bank, right? What are your loans, what are your debts, what are your credits, and so on and so forth. So you use preferred agent routing. That increases your customer satisfaction there. So this is diagram which says, okay, search for the chosen agent. Either you can use the lost agent routing so that you can route to the same agent who talked to you before using a CRM DIP or whatever DIP that you have. Then you queue that call to that particular agent. If the agent is already busy handling that call, let's say agent A is busy, you can decide to queue the contact to that agent, and so when the agent finishes that existing call, he can take the next call. Or you can put it to a generic fallback queue so that you don't keep the customer waiting there. So that's how it really works. And this provides you an ability to route a contact to a preferred agent directly. And again, you can provide alternatives if the agent is busy to send them off to another queue. So let's look at agent-based routing. What is this? This is again coming soon. So this is even more simpler. We're talking about a small contact center, a help desk, IT password reset, and things like that. You don't need sophisticated skills to do all of that. You directly assign agents to the queue. So I saw some hands going up for UCCX. You have resource-based queues, and that is exactly what this is. You are assigning directly the agent resources to a queue. And this helps, again, reduce customer wait times. Agents can directly be assigned to queues, and the contact entering a queue is assigned to an agent in these following algorithms. You can set them as circular, so it goes from agent 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to agent 1, or it can be linear. Goes to agent 1, second contact, everybody's free, again goes to agent 1, and then he gets busy, agent 2, and so on and so forth, or a longest available. So it's up to you how you want to configure it. All of this is coming soon. Look forward for that announcement on the coming soon GA pages. This is a mock-up because it is still in the works, and so wanted to capture that. So you can directly assign agents there, and you can add agents directly to the queue there that way, and you can see who are the agents that you have added who can service this queue. Up to 1,000 agents can be added to a single queue, so that's pretty big and sufficient for handling up to multiple calls there. So let us summarize what we saw in the last 10 minutes. When you're talking about a small contact center, you can use longest available agent or agent-based routing to keep your configuration much more simpler. It routes the contact to a longest available agent, as the name says, or just sends a contact to agents who have added directly in the queue. This is, again, can be used for small contact centers. If you're talking about medium or enterprise contact centers, then you need skill-based routing, which helps you increase the first call resolution. Skills match happen there depending on what kind of customer issue it is. Is it a debit card, credit card, lost card, and things like that? Then you can match who the real agent who could help you answer these kind of questions. Skill requirements can either be added to the queue or to a contact, depending on what works for you guys. It's all, and then it seamlessly works. So you create two queues, one with the skills assigned to a queue, one with skills assigned to a contact. Agent transfers across from one queue to the other. you don't need to be worried. These will work seamlessly without having any issues there. Again, it provides position in queue, which is PIQ there. Check logged in agents availability. Preferred agent increases customer satisfaction. You can send a contact to a preferred agent. So let's look at outbound capabilities. Where do you use that? You maximize agent efficiency and you want to reduce your abandon rates. You want to have those marketing calls, outbound contacts that happen. Very irritating, isn't it? But we make that. Do you like calls that come to you and say, I want to sell you this? No, but that's what the entire industry wants. So that's what we are talking about. So we have 4 types of outbound campaign mode. We are talking about only voice here. The digital capability is coming soon. So this is voice for you. We have preview where agents can decide what contact to be dialed or not. Then we provide progressive, which does automatic dialing and focuses on reaching the maximum number of prospects there. Again, we have CPA. CPA is call progress analysis. It figures out whether you reached a voicemail box and things like that. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Then you have predictive, where it helps you keeping your abandon rate in check. So that's predictive outbound campaign management. Let's say you don't want any agents to do all of this. Then we have IVR campaigns, which automatically dials with no agents involved, and for primary use for notifications and things like that. However, you can then escalate to an agent if you need. So that's available as well. So let's deep dive into each of these and look what are the features that we offer. Progressive campaigns. Call progress analysis. It helps figuring out whether you hit an answering machine or voicemail for detection, and then you can set a pacing mode of up to 10. You can dial 10 contacts per agent and things like that, so that you can reduce your abandon rates. The agent experience on their agent desktop is pretty good because agents will hear some silence until a customer live voice is connected. So you know you're not talking to an answering machine. And so agents will also hear a beep when a customer gets connected. So the agent becomes ready. They see all of the details of who the customer is, the queue that they have, what kind of campaign management that they are talking about. Everything is up on the screen on the agent desktop. Of course, a report, nothing goes out without a report, so we provided a new progressive report that's available in Analyzer. It is available both in historical and real time, so you can take a look at that. From a predictive campaign management perspective, we're talking about a predictive algorithm that calculates the lines to dial per agent based on the configured abandonment rate. So we all know that we disconnect the call when you get such a customer call. So how do you plan your outbound campaign management there? Again, that also comes with CPA or call progress analysis, detect answering machines and voicemails. You can again set that pacing mode again up to 10. You can vary and see how it works for you. Again, a report is available for both progressive and predictive campaign management in historical and real time. So the question is Analyzer part of Webex customer portfolio or Webex Contact Center? The answer is yes. Analyzer comes as a part of Webex Contact Center reporting. It is available there. It is used also for some agent reports, queue reports, and also the call detail reports. So all of that is available in Analyzer. Well, moving on, we'll talk about a little bit of how do you configure a call progress analysis. It's an admin experience that I'm talking about. It is simple and intuitive. As you can see it on the screen, I don't know if it's very clear back there, but you can set the dial rates from 1 to 10. You can define that. A maximum dial rate can also be configured to achieve your abandonment rate, and then connection pace and the multiplier predictive gain as well. So all of these can be configured. There's a simple slider to help you configure that. You play around with it. If that suits you, look at your report, and then you can adjust your admin configurations again. So all of this is available today, and for you to go take a look. So this is the architecture for IVR campaigns. I would try to reduce the architecture diagram a little bit for this audience. Dialer dials out the multiple contacts, so that can go to answering machine that can be detected, a voicemail can be detected. You can play a recorded voice instead of that. You hear a live voice, then whatever, you can send a recorded message to that. Then you can use an escalation to an agent if that needs be by playing press 1, then you talk to an agent, or you can even do digital notifications. So all of these are available today on IVR campaigns. So the IVR campaigns typically used when you don't need an agent to dial and you want to broadcast some messages to your agents. So that is one point you would want to note is this feature will consume additional IVR ports because dialer reserves the IVR port virtually. So that is something you need to keep track of when you order IVR campaigns of how many IVR ports that you need. Let's look at some additional features. So we added these few things on the left. I just called out a few major ones. There were a lot more that we GA'd in the last 6 months. This one came from one of our customers, a few customers who said, reset your longest available agent status once a contact is received. What we used to do is when we spoke about the longest available agent algorithm, and how it used to work earlier is that a voice call comes in to an agent, and for the next voice call, he was not considered, but he was considered for chat because we were looking at the available status from a channel perspective. But customer said, no, I want to ensure that if an agent answers either a voice, a chat, or an email, he's considered he's handled one contact irrespective of what channel type it is. Why don't you mark him as he's already handled a call and send the next contact of whichever call type to the next available agent? So that is exactly this feature. You can turn on the longest available reset status check, and then that will ensure that you send the contact or to different agents. That way you have a fair distribution of contacts. It doesn't depend on a channel of the contact that comes in. Rank queue is a very, very interesting feature that we released 4 or 5 months ago. Let's say you have a less number of agents and you know that there are some agents who are really good at, let's say, collections. And so when a collection contact comes to a collections queue, you want those agents to handle that contact first. And then the second one, configuration where these agents are also added, if they don't have any contacts from the collection, only then you want to have them answer those contacts. So that is where rank queues come into picture. You can rank the queues for a given team and say, this is a collection team, let them first, they are the SME for handling all contacts about collections, and let them handle that first if there is a contact there. Otherwise, you can reuse them to handle others. So that is where you rank queues and figure out what contacts can be handled first. This is not call priority. Call priority is another feature that's available so that if you are a VIP customer, you can bump up the priority and get that contact answered quickly. Outdial was not allowed on all multimedia profiles. So we have multiple multimedia profiles. You can only do voice. You can do a blended of voice, chat, and email, or you can say any one of these. I don't want them to do everything. So these are the 3 different multimedia profiles. But irrespective of the multimedia profiles, you want your agents to probably contact their supervisors or SMEs in the back office to check something before they respond on an email. In such cases, we want them to allow the outdial for them. So that's the 3rd feature there. We also introduced for the progressive campaigns 1:1 to show what the configured variables are. You want to show the customer name, their location, so that the agent is equipped to talk to the agent quickly about something, and so on and so forth. So that's the improvement that we did to the progressive after we released the progressive campaigns. Then this is increasing programmability. You can add agent email ID in the output variable for each event so that you can do last agent routing and things like that. And what's coming soon? We use bridge transfer for use cases like, let's say, you want to authenticate a customer that he's the right person talking in by punching in a T-pin, if you will. So then you send them off to a third-party IVR. So you use bridge transfer and flow. But then let's say you want to also send that contact to a third-party agent. So we want to dequeue that as a part of this. That's an enhancement that we are delivering for a customer. You can remove skills on blind transfer to a queue. So let's say there are multiple queues. Agents transfer contacts from one queue to the other for whatever reason. And especially in case of when you assign contacts to a queue, the skill is assigned skills to a contact, then the skill is attached to the contact and continues to go through to various queues. And so it may so happen that the third queue is transferred, there are no agents whatsoever with that skill. And so that contact never gets answered. So there is a small checkbox that you can say that, okay, if there is a transfer and you want the skills to be removed when you transfer, because you know this queue may not have the same skills. A customer called in for credit card, and then the agent answered about credit card. Okay, what else can I help you with? Oh, you know what? I have a loan account, and I wanted to talk about that. Then the agent transfers them off to a loan. But now we assigned credit card to this particular contact, and it makes no sense. So when you transfer it, you can say remove the skill completely, so that anybody in the next queue can answer that. So that's also coming pretty soon. It's right now in the development. We will probably provide early access in a couple of weeks from now. Variable support, this again provides a lot of support, programmability in the flow control, so you can actually use variable names to send the queues when you create your flows. Okay, so they had 4 or 5 customers who use a lot of programmability in their contact center flows, and they wanted us to support this. So this is coming pretty soon, so it improves programmability for our flow designers. Tighter integration, we are all Cisco, so Webex calling, Webex Contact Center, we want to provide tighter integration. And so when we provide tighter integration, we exactly know the status of the contact. Let's say an agent is talking on phone and not in front of the computer at this moment, talking to somebody in his organization, non-ACD call. That's detected, and a contact is not delivered to that agent. So when that happens, there is no ring or no answer. The agent, it just rings and the customer gets irritated, it's ringing and nobody's answering. So that never happens. So we are bringing tighter integration. We are figuring out, understand this, we sync the presence of the Webex teams, the phone devices, so that we figure out if an agent is really available in front of the screen to take that contact or not. So that's coming in the second quarter of this calendar year. Granular state control. So if you are again a CCX or a CC customer, you could go available on voice or and be not ready on other channels. So there is a use case that came up to me interestingly, that a particular customer have agents who log off at the end of the day, but they travel back in a metro to when they go back home, but they can still do emails. So they wanted an ability to turn on that I'm available to take emails, but not voice calls, because it's very noisy in a train, right? So you could do that. That's the granular agent state control, where you can set the availability on a per channel basis to ensure that the agent has greater flexibility, that they can do only voice or only email or only chat and what have you, or available for everything. A simple intuitive interface that's coming in the second quarter of this calendar year. And also the callbacks, the scheduled callbacks and personal callbacks are also coming in the third quarter of this calendar year. So all of this is our roadmap. There are more things other than the skill-based queues and the agent-based queues, which I did not add here, but we spoke about that in the previous slides. So pretty packed set of features from a routing and queuing. I'm only talking about routing and queuing feature set for Webex Contact Centers. There's a lot of features across the portfolio that we spoke about earlier that's coming, and we continue to innovate and deliver features week after week. So let's look at what we are talking about, AI routing. How does AI play a role in the Webex Contact Center routing? Again, I'm bringing up this slide to just remind you what are our CX challenges. We know capacity remains a constraint, technology is siloed, integration is siloed, agent retention is a problem. So how do we use AI to address these challenges? So going on, achieving business outcomes. When we talk about business outcomes, we're talking about can I upsell a customer? Can I increase my customer satisfaction? How do I do that? It is easier said than done. Again, why? Because effectiveness is limited to how best an admin designs a queue and configure agents, skills, and teams to those queues. Routing configuration is very rigid and static. I mean, you can't keep making changes all the time. They are not multidimensional. You can either make them for one single KPI, like reduce the wait time, increase first call resolution, and things like that. But can I do all of that together? Today, no, because the configuration is so or such. And there is some intelligence, like you can match skills and things like that, but not real intelligence of matching the dynamically changing attributes of the customer intents and the agents as well. So how do you bring them together? The feedback loop, I said you can look at the report for an outbound campaign manager and make changes accordingly. So that is actually manual in nature. The feedback loops are very, very long. And it is all reactive in nature. So that is why you need AI to ensure we can bring all of these different challenges together and then still be able to route the contact to the right agent. How do we do that? This is our blueprint for AI routing in Webex Contact Center. So this accounts to improve business outcomes while being quicker, cheaper, and less error prone. So we want to evolve from rigid static configurations or configured systems, long feedback loops which involves humans, which are again error prone, and reactive systems, to a more dynamic system that adapts and learns how to route contacts better for increased business outcomes. 2, multidimensional factors are considered or determined to how we route contacts to our customers. Rather than using our legacy algorithms that we saw earlier, which are again static and configured, can we route contacts better dynamically depending on the customer intent so that you can maximize on the business outcome? So first of all, we need to all understand, why is this such an important thing to solve? Often, because it's all human who are taking the feedback, looking at the reports, doing analysis, and then making adjustments, they are error prone. Incorporating those feedback, any change that you do impacts business KPIs immediately. So it's about how you provide for every single customer interaction a personalized based, and considering all the insights about the customer and the agents that you have, how do you bridge them together to increase the outcome? So that is exactly what we intend to solve with AI in Webex Contact Center routing. Well, we have routing all across. We have routing, we have AI all across. We have AI in the flow treatment, where you can get your customer and contact insight. I'm pretty sure my colleague Max will be talking a great deal about all the AI augmented agents, talking about agent burnout, customer satisfaction scores that get turned up, summaries, wrap-ups, and those are the kind of insights that we have on the agent side. So we intend to solve these 2 buckets of, in the queue configuration, how can you enhance the queue experience while customers are waiting, or how do you use AI/ML algorithms in routing? So this is with the insights that you have both from the queue configuration, the customer insights, and the agent insights, all dynamic in nature. So let's look at that. First thing is, how do you enhance queue experience? We want to introduce a predictive mechanism of estimated wait time. So I'm pretty sure when you call up a contact center, guys all have done, it says you are 5 minutes, all our agents are busy, we have, your wait time is 5 minutes, you're very valuable to us. How often can you time that it's 5 minutes? It's not accurate, right? It's a predicted time. But now we want to enhance that, and to provide, today what we have, we provide estimated wait time, which we saw earlier, but that use simple statistical methods that capture non-linear data. It does not capture the arrival rates at which the contacts are coming. It does not consider the channel type through which the contacts are coming, because it looks at a particular queue. It doesn't look at the skills of the what the intent and the skills of the contact are. It does not consider the time of day and seasonality into picture, certain days, certain peak times. It does not capture all of that. And so these plain averaging of statistical method misses important variations, and that's an existing limitation. And this particular one with machine learning model of estimated wait time, predicting the estimated wait time, is much better because it considers queue details, seasonality, right now the position in queue, agents in queue, the skills of the contact, and it ensures there is consistency and accuracy. and that increases customer experience. So we are going to go beta in the second quarter of this calendar year. So stay tuned and look for the announcement in the coming soon page. We look at a couple of scenarios of how AI uses agent recommendations. So this one particularly talks about KPI routing using Webex AI. How do you maximize outcomes to reduce any one of them, increase CSAT or reduce AHT? So customers do come with an intent. So Webex Contact Center provides you the auto CSAT. It is all AI based. It's available now. Yesterday it went GA. Or you can configure for reduce the average handle time or increase first call resolution based on what is configured. Intelligently routes the contact, provides you the recommendations. If you see, there were multiple agents who could serve this contact, but figures out who's the right agent with this agent recommendation and intelligent routing algorithms that we plan to introduce to figure out who the predicted agents would be. Again, the agents are augmented on their agent desktop to provide a lot of information about the customer and things like that, so that you can maximize on reducing the average handle time or increasing the customer satisfaction or any a few. This is again planned for beta in second half of calendar year. It's right now in design. We're working on it. So I don't have a working demo as yet today, but we want to release that. So stay tuned for that. Second one, you spoke about maximizing host of KPIs. Now, why did you talk about a single KPI? That's why you have the second slide up here, where you can use any of the KPIs and mix and match them. You can bring your own insights. Let's say there's a large organization which is using a third-party AI system to produce some kind of insights about a customer. You can bring in that. We'll provide APIs that will put it in our insight store, and this weighted expressions builder will take all of that into consideration and then figure out who the right agent would be to handle that contact. And this is all built using native AI model. So this is also coming in beta, second half of the year. There's one slide that I did not put because that's coming in the future, and that's how do you use all of this information that you have inside and outside and put together, and large language models trying to churn out the best agent who could serve that. A full AI capability is also being built in the contact center that's coming out in the future. This will generate the data that needs to train those models. So I did not put a slide there because that's out there in the future. These have deterministic timelines. And so look out for that as well, a full-blown AI model for agent recommendations as well. So conclusion, last slide. You saw that we spoke about the proactive journeys, the AI agents, how omni-channel routing, and AI spread all across, all built using an AI-powered platform to provide or enabling our customers to deliver great experiences to their end customers, help you orchestrate customer journeys, enable automation, the right amount of automation that is needed to fulfill the customer intents and enhance the agent productivity. And lastly, all of this is built on a Webex platform, and a single Webex platform that is built with a technology that is secure and scalable. So we have something called a responsible AI team who look at every single AI feature that comes out from Webex Contact Center or Webex in all to ensure that we are not looking at any of those PII data. So all the AI capabilities that I spoke about is going through that legal team to ensure that it is really, really secure. And that is of utmost importance. So thank you very much. I hope I imparted some knowledge today about what Webex customer experience portfolio is, how do you do routing and things like that. Fantastic.